Good on the Inside, an Antisepticeye X-Reader fanfiction by Dragon Ghost 3. Chapter 4, I Dream of Nightmares. Dark's Perspective. I look into the hall and saw Luna running from Auntie's room. I hid and thought to myself, time to have some fun. I looked into Luna's room and saw she was asleep, but also noticed her cheeks were stained red from tears. Poor girl, I snickered. I opened my hand and black smoke came out of my palm. It trailed to Luna. It circled around her bed and entered into her ear. Her eyes opened. They were pitch black, then closed again. Let the nightmare begin, Dark laughed. Your dream. Perspective. You seemed to be running down a long hill that was dark and misty, so you couldn't see a thing. All of a sudden, you hear squealing and chattering. You run faster. I don't feel like myself, said a voice inside your head. It sounded like Markiplier. You hear a psycho laugh coming from his voice. I've been having strange dreams lately, he said again. You grip your head, trying to block out the voices. You knew that wasn't Mark. You ran until you saw a man in a chair, just sitting there. You came closer. He had ruffled green hair and tall and skinny. Jack? You said in a terrified voice. He lifted his head and you screamed in terror. He had no eyes. Blood came down from the holes in his face. He spoke in a scratchy voice. Welcome to Raspy Hill. No, no, no! You kept saying it. You burst into a sprint and saw mannequins falling from the sky. But now you're here, Mark said. You grabbed your head, screaming and yelling. You fall to your knees, feeling the pain in your wrist. The pentagram glowed an orange color and burned your wrist. And I will make you feel it right at home, Mark continued. Dark walked to you and knelt down to see your tearful face. Enjoy your stay, Dark grinned. End of the dream. Your perspective. Ah! You screamed and woke up. You were cold and sweaty. Your face was throbbing. What happened? Exclaimed Auntie, running into your room. You stared at Auntie in horror. Then, without thinking, you started to cry. He ran to you and held my shoulders and hugged you. You cried into his shoulder. You didn't know why, but somehow he was warm and comforting. He looked at your wrist with wide eyes. You looked down and saw burn marks in the shape of a pentagram. Auntie touched the burn. You winced as he tried to heal it. I'm sorry, I can heal it, he said in a sad voice. It's okay. You hugged him. His eyes were wide with surprise, but hugged back. Narrator. Auntie walked out of the room. Dark was sitting in a chair, sharpening his knife. Auntie glares at him. What? Dark asks. You gave her a nightmare, that's what, Auntie yelled. His eyes glowed bright green. It was only a little one, said Dark. Oh yeah? What was it about? Auntie asked, worried. Dark began. Oh, for the love of Auntie banged his head at the wall. Please tell me you didn't take her to Raspy Hill, Auntie pleaded. Dark nodded slightly. Auntie sighed and walked into his room, saying nothing.